Good evening and welcome to Keeping It Clear with Cody Bowen. It's been a little while. This show is basically a show where you guys, the viewers, can ask Cody questions. I have some questions in the bag too, and we'll have a guest after the first break. We'll have John Sutton, the school resource officer, join us. But as for right now, I'll introduce the star of the show.
The star of the show.
How you been?
Sure thing. Good, man.
What's
Good.
new? We haven't
Really
done
good.
this in a little
It
while.
has been a
so
couple months.
we're behind a little on. We haven't touched, but tonight we'll get some good information out.
Right? Let's hope so.
Yeah, this is all brought to you by Safe Ride. Be one of 2,000. Help Loveland Safe Ride reach their goal of building a community of 2,000 monthly contributors. So they're looking for 2,000 people in the valley or anywhere actually to contribute at least $10 a month. Each commitment strengthens the foundation that keeps prevention active. We all know what Loveland Safe Ride does. If you haven't heard of it, you're living under a rock. It's rides home for people that are inebriated that shouldn't be driving. It's saved hundreds, if not probably thousands of DUIs, lives, and it's the smart thing to do if you're out boozing. You know what I mean? It's pretty simple, right?
It is. Yeah.
Loveland is a 501c3 nonprofit organization now, and you can go to lovelandsaferide.com/, let me look, that's monthly-supporters, or you can scan that QR code, which would be even easier. The QR code right there on the screen will take you right to the donation page.
Yeah, they have it on their Facebook page too. We floated around the office too. I signed up for it. Some of the deputies have signed up for it. It's very easy. $10 a month is, to save lives.
Minus a coffee and a half.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Literally. Let's start with what's new at the Sheriff's Department.
Not much. We are just we just submitted our budget for this next coming year. We have obviously been working on that. I feel comfortable, reporting that we are going to remain under budget again. So
that's always good.
Yeah. 5 years that I've been there, we've been under budget, which is nice. We've extended some line items, obviously, but the whole pot itself is generally under. This year, of course, we've had some vehicle maintenance expenses. We had a few motors, transmission. And in the new budget, we've requested a few new vehicles to replace the older ones that are a little wore out, and keep the guys in safe vehicles is a priority for me.
100%.
Yeah.
So when you're under budget, where does the leftovers go?
Usually it's general fund stuff. So if there's
it
stuff
just goes all into
yeah,
one big
yeah.
fund.
We don't really keep anything extra that we have. Some of the stuff rolls over, depending on which line item it is. But the majority of it, if it's not spent, it's right back into the general fund for next year.
So is the budget that's done by the county stock off, right?
There's a budget committee. And they elect people to it each year. I haven't seen it be the same people every year.
That's for the whole county, right?
That's for the whole county.
Okay.
Yeah. So each department submits their budget to Shelley Burgess.
Why did I say stock off?
Shelley Burgess, our financial officer, our county administrator, and she presents that to the budget committee. She'll fill in the details. Each department head will come and give their presentation, and if you're asking for additional money, this is why. And then they decide whether we get it or whether we don't. And approve the budget and start over in July.
And right now the projected is under.
Correct. Yeah.
And so here's my next question about that. If you project under, you can still go over, right?
It's possible, yeah.
But you haven't.
Yeah. Overtime's been a big thing for us this year. We've had some pretty big cases that required a lot of overtime. So we exhausted that line. Vehicle maintenance was a little bit over with those vehicles. Fuel, surprisingly not. We're about even with fuel. We budgeted pretty well for that. But even with the cost increases, we've been able to manage. Shout out to the people that daily, on a day-to-day basis, keep an eye on that for Lieutenant Woodward, Lieutenant Nick Hilter, and Kathy Falk. The three administrators in my office. They watch that literally on a daily basis, as far as our expenditures and what's coming in, and making sure that the revenues that we've, grants or whatever that we've applied for are coming in, contracts are coming in. yeah, it's a lot of work, and they are very good at what they do, and they are great advisors to me when it comes to, Cody, stop spending money.
Yeah.
Or go ahead, spend it.
Man, you're only, like, it's good to have good people because
Yeah.
it makes you comfortable.
For sure.
And I don't say comfortable in the sense of like overlooking things. I say comfortable in like, you can rely on them.
Right, absolutely. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, coming into this job, I've never been a sheriff before. I've never managed a $5 million budget. Without surrounding myself with good people, I wouldn't be able to succeed at this.
Yeah.
And being able to just listen to what they have to say is crucial in any leadership role.
Right.
But I'll be the first one to tell you that the people that I surround myself with within our organization are the people that make it function very well.
It's the same thing for a head coach in sports.
Sure.
You don't have to be the most knowledgeable baseball dude to be a Major League Baseball head coach. You surround yourself with dudes that do that. You just have to be able to manage people and be the people manager essentially.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah. Our office from the top to the bottom. Well, I guess the top would be me. So
Yeah.
everybody in our office is outstanding.
Right.
From our newest deputies to patrol corrections to our front office staff that are the face of the office and meet people out there every day. They make my job much more pleasurable.
Nice.
For sure.
This is a live interactive show where we take questions from you guys. So somebody needs to break the ice. But right now we're going to take a break and we're going to be back with the school resource officer up at LeGrand High School, John Sutton, right after this.
Eastern Oregon is full of interesting people, with interesting minds and interesting things to say. Here at EO Live, we're committed to connecting you to these intriguing people with EO Talks. We let our special guests share their ideas and life experiences with deep, open, engaging, and inquisitive conversations. You'll also be informed in depth on some of the most recent and relevant events, issues, and more. EO Talks on EO Live, your connection to Eastern Oregon, now on Roku.
Welcome back to Keeping It Clear with Cody Bowen. We are joined now by the LeGrand High School School Resource Officer, John Sutton. John, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me in tonight.
Good.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So one of the things that I always challenge Cody with is I always we'll schedule this show and then I'll be like, dude, we got to get a guest. And I'll find somebody. A couple of days before, you haven't said it, let's get a guest. But thankfully, he got you because me personally, I want to know what's going on up at the high school. I care about those kids. I mean, as you can tell, and I think it's a vital part of our community.
Yeah. No, and he had to search the bottom of the barrel to find me. So
I mean, he's partial to you.
Very partial.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's his old job. So let's start it off with this for you. Just give me an update. How are things going? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going really good. It's something that I knew I would enjoy it coming into it. And now I'm almost one school year in at this point, and it's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed just the interactions, just being able to go around and even in ones that aren't in the most positive light, sometimes we have to deal with stuff, but the relationships that I'm able to build with a lot of those students, that student body, has been, I would say, almost unanimously positive. Like I said, even situations that aren't the greatest, most times I come out of that with a better relationship with whoever that is than going in. So
that's the goal, right?
Yeah,
I mean, always.
absolutely. Yep.
Cody, you can chime in on that, the whole, if there's a negative, situation.
Yeah.
That's a good chance to build a relationship.
That's what this whole role is about, is building relationship with the kids. creating those long-term relationships down the road that literally pays dividends to us down the road. Just to having that relationship, taking a bad situation and letting them know that, you know, that positive reinforcement or that consequence. The kids need positive consequence. They need consequences. They need structure. They thrive off of that. They want that. They might not always say it right up front, but having consequences in their life and having somebody deliver that's not a parent, that's not a teacher, that's somebody out there, that's somebody in that capacity, and then being able to relate to them. You know, having kids of his own, you know, he's not that far out of high school, right? I mean,
I don't know how old the guy is.
coaching, he has that, you know, he has that other hat that he wears. He's in the community, you know, in jeans and a t-shirt. They'll see him out and about, and that's huge for these kids to recognize that he's a real person, not just a cop in there dropping the hammer down on them. 99% of the school resource officer job is having those positive interactions with the kids, with the staff as well. That, like I said, I mean, it carries on for lifetimes.
Yeah. Well, as you know, when we were kids, there wasn't. We
No,
didn't have
no,
that.
we didn't have one.
And so cop interactions when we were kids weren't always super friendly.
They had to
you know?
catch us first.
Yeah, that's true. But wow. Probably going to get some feedback on that.
That's okay.
If you guys have any questions for John, he's here to answer your guys' questions. John, what about so in this first year, what's been the biggest challenge for you?
I think really, I told Cody the other day, my public speaking has gotten a lot better because that's something that you're kind of constantly doing. I had the opportunity to teach the BEST program, and it's our drug awareness program that we teach to all the 5th grade classes within the LeGrand School District. And so in total, it was 7 classes. There's 7 lessons for each class, and then a graduation that follows. And so just getting out in front of people and having to do that it was you know, the beginning stages of it, the first group that I taught, it was a little bit of a challenge, but I found my footing pretty quickly, I feel like, and now I feel like it's something I've gotten a lot better at. So getting that opportunity has been really good.
So like with that, you're going out of the high school to 5th grade classes and teaching that?
Yep.
That's I like that, because then they'll know you. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You already have the chance to establish a relationship with the kids before they get into high school.
Absolutely.
That's
and
huge.
Kind of something that Cody pointed to was, you know, having those interactions even away from being in uniform at work. You know, when you talk to and are around that many kids, right?
Yeah.
I mean, hundreds of kids. And then you see them out in the community. Is a fun thing that we got to do. Something that I really enjoyed about the BEST program was setting goals. Something that I really enjoy. I think you're starting that thought process of trying to continually better yourself. And if you complete a goal, that's awesome. Now start a new one. Let's get a new one going. And so you're kind of putting that repetition into their lives. And so something that I did in the last two schools, it was Island City and Central. I started a goal at the beginning of the year so I could talk about it during BEST. And now I see the kids out just wherever I'm at, off duty or whatever, and they'll come up to me, hey, how's your goal going? Because we talk about, you know, successful ways to complete your goals.
Yeah.
And it's, hey, telling other people, so they challenge you to make sure that you're keeping up on your goals. That's probably one of the bigger takeaways for me out of that program is just, you know, making that connection with them and then having them be interactive towards that. Even every day when I show up to class, somebody would be like, hey, how's your goal going? I'm like, hey, thanks for asking. You know, it's going really good. This is where I'm at. So just being able to build those relationships at a younger age too, I think is going to be really beneficial to our community as a whole. So,
I agree. I like that. That's really good.
yeah.
What about the BEST program? We've talked about it a few times on here. Cody, give me a synopsis of BEST.
Synopsis, like you said, is a 7-week program.
Yep.
It's basically, I don't want to say it's mirrored after the former DARE program, but we took that concept and applied that to what fits Union County a little bit better. It's got some similar carryovers from the DARE program, but really it's just talking to kids about, you know, being able to talk to people, you know, identifying the negatives about drugs, how to tell your friends that, you know, you don't want to be a part of that. Having a circle of people that you can confide in around you, your team, and then they have a lesson plan. They have a workbook that they go through each time. There's a lesson plan. There's a program, and it carries on for those 7 weeks, and then obviously they graduate. Have a little ceremony at the end. They get their shirt. They get their graduation certificate, and yeah, it's one more tool to get us in the door, to get us in front of the kids in a positive atmosphere.
So when they were doing the, when I think it was when Safe Families, is that what it's called? Union County Safe?
Community Coalition.
Yes.
Yes.
When they were asking for the money from the city, at the city council meeting, I remember seeing a thing where they posted some numbers, some percentages of kids that are, either drinking and the numbers were like alarmingly high.
Yeah.
Alarmingly high. Yeah. Do you think that those numbers are really that high, or do you think it's just because, what kid is going to, you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
It's hard for me to believe that it's that high.
Well, they don't poll every kid, right?
Right.
I do know that I was a kid once in a small community. We both were, right? Yeah. All three of us were. Okay, we're over that. You are faced with some temptations throughout those high school and middle school years. And when they send these surveys out, I think kids are a little bit more honest now than they maybe were before. They're definitely a lot more in touch with what's going on with these things.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's right in front of their face. I mean, kids can order vapes off their phones. 16 years old, they can order a vape off their phone, get it shipped to their buddy's house, get it shipped to whatever. And there's no checks and balances. We'd walk into the Red Barn, that guy'd be like, I don't think so, bud.
Yeah.
You're not buying your Copenhagen today.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more accessible for them with the recent passage of, the legalization of marijuana. It's in a lot more homes, and not good or bad, but it's in a lot more homes than it ever was 20 years ago. So the accessibility, the availability.
And more visible, too.
And more visible, yeah. It's become more socially acceptable.
Right.
And there's a lot of kids now that I see, in the college area, college ring, that prefer, marijuana over alcohol. So it's just more socially acceptable. So it's more available. So do I believe the numbers? I am the first one to tell you that data can be skewed.
Right.
It can be skewed to whoever is requesting the data to what they want it to see or what they want it to be. But I do believe that drugs amongst our youth is a problem. And it will be, and there's no way we'll ever be able to eliminate that. However, that being said, I think Union County Safe Community Coalition, I think Friends of the Children, I think the best program is all taking a little bite at it, one piece at a time. And I've said this before, we're not going to save every kid. Right. But if we can impact one or two of those kids to make them think before they make that choice when they're out, jumping in that car or going to that party or something, just that 1 second, then it's worth it.
Yeah. I mean, I agree 100%. I just saw those numbers and I was like, wow, like, is it really that high? I mean, it was more the young, like 12-year age where I was just like, because I remember me at 12 and I was nowhere near, you know what I mean? Like even I think I may have tried like a cigarette, like when I was 12, but not pot or, not alcohol. But I also, from the time I was like 8 on, there's none in my parents were clean, 100% clean. So I never saw it. I never saw, I did as a young kid, but I think that does have a little bit to do with it. Like what the parents are bringing into the house.
Well, and also too, I mean, you can have the best parents in the world, and we see this on a daily basis, and the kids just make poor decisions.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, I bonged my first 40 at Old E when I was in 8th grade. That was back then, with a bunch of college kids.
Right.
That's public knowledge. So I'm okay to share that. But yeah, I mean, 8th grade, it's like nobody ever surveyed me. Nobody asked me how much 8th graders were drinking. Well, I wouldn't have told you anyways, but
it
was happening.
Either. Like I agree with the honesty part too, like 100%. What about Deputy Sutton? What do you see at the high school? What's the most? I mean, I would imagine that it's probably nicotine, but kind of give me an idea what you're seeing, if anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cody brought it up already. Phones are probably the biggest issue. Deputy Capers brought it up during our last time being in here, and he was dead on. I mean, phones are there's so much issue that goes on with those and people communicating, and whether it's usually not positive in a lot of cases. And then, we do see a lot of vapes, a lot of nicotine, mostly vapes. I mean, as far as the nicotine products go, trying to think if I've even seen like the traditional tobacco this year. Not that I can think of.
Well, okay. Here's a second part of that question. What's the process if somebody has a vape at school? Is that you, or is that admin taking care of that?
That's mostly school because of where the laws are right now. It's going to come with some sort of school sanction, and usually it's a program that they have to complete, like a vaping program, if that's what it is, prior to or as they're re-entering back in.
So it's not like an automatic, like you're getting a ticket for being a minor in possession.
Right.
Of
Yeah.
most of the time nicotine, I would imagine.
Yeah. And then drugs and alcohol, you're getting your school sanctions, whatever comes of that, hearing stuff like that, but then also, you're getting citation. If it's
Yeah,
drugs or
it
alcohol.
is.
Yep.
Okay, so there is that part of it where if it's drugs or alcohol, you're getting
getting
MIP or
Yep.
whatever you call it. Is it the same for marijuana?
Yeah.
MIP,
Yep.
same thing.
Yeah.
Huh, that's interesting. What about so at the school, you have different cliques of kids, right? You
Yeah.
know, there's I don't need to name them. People know. How have you dealt? How have you learned how to be able to deal with all different kinds of people?
I think just having that human interaction with them. I think that's really where it doesn't. And if I kind of learned this at the beginning of the year, and I kind of knew it prior to coming into this position, but if you can relate to somebody, there's a good chance you can speak to them, and even if they don't necessarily want to listen to what you're saying, they hold you in high regard, they have some respect for you, and they're at least willing to listen. Just having that normal human interaction with them, even before it becomes like, hey, you're in trouble, so now I'm talking to you. Trying to break down those walls before that happens, I think is also pretty helpful in those circumstances.
Just like catch them in a hall and say, "Hey, man, I like the Padres too." If they have a Padres hat.
Right. Yeah. Just fist bump. Hey, how's the day going?
Yeah.
Like, how are you? How are you making good choices? That kind of those conversations. It doesn't have to be negative.
So outside of the drugs and alcohol and tobacco realm, what's the other biggest problem that you see?
Like I said, I think phones, people.
No, not phone. I mean, like outside of anything like possession wise. Like, you ever have kids come up to you and say, "Hey, man, I need your help. I'm having troubles with whatever." You know what I mean? Like, what's the most common?
I think even going back to that human interaction, right? Some people don't always. There's some clashing that goes on in not any human interaction, but when you have, like you kind of said, different cliques of people, right?
Right.
They don't see everything the same way, so you might have those conflicts that happen on a day-to-day basis, and so that happens fairly commonly, where we're trying to kind of mitigate those issues and making sure everybody's able to show up to school, be safe while they're there. They're not, getting into fights, not having those kinds of issues. Finding a way, even if they can't get along, it's like, well, don't get along away from each other, right? Like, so that there's not some sort of issue that pops up from that. So, I would say that's a fairly common thing. So.
Like, give me a rough estimate on this, and you can chime in too. Like, how often are kids fighting at school?
I would say it doesn't happen very often.
So not like when we were kids.
We've had probably not. I think when I remember when I was in high school, it was like, oh, this person said they're going to go after this person after school, and so what does everybody do?
Yeah,
Your kids goes and
sure.
waits for this to happen, right? So I would say not. I mean, we've had a couple incidents throughout the year, but nothing too major. I try to stay on top of those types of things.
That's good.
Making sure, especially like during the lunch hour, during after school, before school, I'm just circling blocks and checking areas out, making sure everybody's staying safe. They're not doing engaging in that kind of behavior. Presence is a huge thing in our line of work, and if you're seen, it's a higher likelihood that something's not going to become an issue.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like traffic. If I see if anybody that speeds sees a police car on Adams or wherever, they're slowing, and then it kind of gets hey, Bowen sits on that corner sometimes. I'm gonna slow down. I don't speed myself, but I'm just saying overall. No, I honestly don't speed. I try to drive the speed limit because I'm not in a hurry. I will tell you that I really don't speed. I don't. I hate it when like downtown when people are coming through Adams going 40 miles an hour, not stopping at the crosswalk.
I love hitting Adams at 40 because it's like there's a big ramp right in the middle of that thing.
Sometimes it knocks
you
on
When I am
trailer
lawfully able to do so, when I have my lights on.
Oh wow! You're
Not
just
in my
asking for it
personal
today,
vehicle.
are you?
Well, somebody's got to talk. You got to give them something to talk about.
So how long have you lived here, John, in LeGrand?
Since around 2009, 10-ish, I would say.
Oh, so you've been here long enough to have a good idea about the culture and everything. What's your favorite thing about LeGrand?
I like that there's just geographically there's so much over here. I spent some time on gonna say it again. Spent some time on the west side of the state, which I'm not blamed too harshly for.
I did too. And I'm from California, but I'm in Eastern Oregon.
But some time at the coast. I enjoy the snow. I enjoy the 4 seasons that we have. Living on the coast and being from Sweet Home. A lot of rain. A lot of just cloudy, dreary days over there. And so over here, we get the 4 seasons. Like I said, geographically, there's just a lot of stuff that's close. It doesn't take you, if you want to find a body of water, you don't have to go very far. The mountains are a 10-minute drive. Just all of that stuff, just everything, all the natural resources surrounding us it just makes the area really neat. I really like it.
So like I said at the beginning, if you have any questions, send them right here on Facebook, or you can email me, kyle@eoalive.tv. I guess let's end with this one for you, John, and then we'll get you out of here, unless Cody has anything else for you. Is there anything that you want to see happen at the high school or change, like that you could have an effect on?
Gosh, it's a tough one because I haven't put a lot of thought into that.
I mean, like, is there a program that you think would be beneficial, or is there, a rule change or something that, would just help with day to day? And I'm not just talking about for you, I'm talking about for them too.
Yeah, I mean, just going a little bit in line with the vape stuff. I mean, nicotine, tobacco laws coming back. I think because some kids, some of the student body, the ones that are participating in that kind of stuff, they may not truly change until they're, some people are that way. They're not going to change until their feet are really held to the fire. Not to say the school's not doing what they can.
Right.
But to be able to have that tool in our own tool belt, I think it would be pretty nice because, then you can refer it to other departments and have that follow up on that end as well. Kind of like what we're doing right now with MIPs. It gets referred to juvenile department, and there's some follow up that happens after the fact. I think something like that would be kind of nice to see. Deeper than that, I've been trying to get my bearings this year, so I'll have to put some serious thought into it.
I see you at all the sporting events. I mean, I see you probably 2 or 3 times a week sometimes, at basketball or wrestling. I mean, so you're doing a good job with it. Cody, let me ask you, let's tail that question with, what's the difference between nicotine and weed or alcohol? It's this.
When it comes to addiction, nothing.
No, exactly. But and when it comes to possession, there's 3 years difference. That's it. But so why is it different when it comes to the police intervention at the school?
Well, it's different because of the age and Oregon laws.
Right.
So kids do make some bad choices, and they end up committing adult crimes, if you will.
Right.
If that kid's under 11 years old, juvenile's not going to touch them. We don't even refer them to them. When it comes to consequences wise, when I was an SRO, when we would bust somebody, if you will, for having cigarettes or having a vape or something, it would go to the judge, and the judge would say, "Get this out of here. I don't have time for this." So then it just kind of reverted back to then the juveniles like, "Don't send us those because we're going to do that." So then we rely on the school. So the school is doing everything they can with them introducing. This was just a couple years ago. the consequences that they instill. They used to just send them home for a couple of days to come back and hope that they behave themselves. But now they have the re-entry, if you will, of the classes that you have to take and recognize the consequences of you vaping for years over your life. So it's more of an educational piece, really, honestly. And then no matter the consequences, you're still leaving that choice up to the individual. So give them as many tools as you can, educate them on the thing, and then hopefully they make the right choice in the future. But
I mean, it makes sense. But
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the same time, I would think, I mean, looking at it from as an outsider, I mean, I don't look at I don't look at nicotine any different than alcohol except for 3 years.
sure.
You know what I mean? Well, and to buy it, it's the same.
Well, and I mean, there are some physical differences. I mean, your brain's not
yeah,
fully
of
developed
course.
until you're 21, 25 or something.
25, yeah.
Mine's still not developed all the time. But there are some physical attributes that come with that. And girls grow up a little bit faster. They develop a little bit faster mentally,
Definitely.
physically.
Definitely.
So the age limit is based off of I would say health reasons more than consequential reasons.
Right.
But I don't know.
That's one that I'll
Above my
always-
pay grade.
Yeah, it just dumbfounds me. All right, so let's get Deputy Sutton out of here, unless you got something to add.
Yeah, just one last thing.
Yeah.
I think a good opportunity for like some positive reinforcement. We had prom this last weekend.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No issues that I know of from the weekend, and so hey, shout out to all the high school kids that attended prom, did all the festivities that come along with that, and no issues that I know of. So I think that's a huge thing, and they deserve some recognition. For that.
Absolutely, that's absolutely awesome. I mean, anytime you can make it through an event like that with a bunch of kids, it's, I mean, because prom is the time when people do stupid things a lot.
Yeah.
That's absolutely awesome. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Cody and I are going to wrap this thing up. If you have questions, put them in the comments or email me, Kyle at EO Live TV. This is all brought to you by Loveland Safe Ride. Once again, thanks to them. Be 1 in 2000. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Keeping It Clear with Bowen. I just called
Bowen
him
works.
I mean, that's what I've called.
Bowen?
Yeah. Cody Bowen. I'm Dodsey, and this is a live interactive show where you can submit questions, and I'll ask Cody. And then when there's not questions, I just kind of pick his brain about what's going on with Union County Sheriff's Office. Let's talk new deputies. Have you gotten who we got?
Yeah, we've got two. We've got one that just completed the final steps of FTEP, the field training portion.
Is that where you got to be with another officer?
Yep, we put you with, it's 3 different phases basically. Your first one, when you get out of the academy, you're with a guy and they're walking you through everything. The second one is a little bit more on your own, and then the third is pretty much you're handling the calls yourself, and they're just evaluating and make sure. So
Yeah, somebody's kind of like just overseeing you.
Yeah.
So who are they?
Brian Jobin is the one that is most recently out on his own. He was a LeGrand firefighter. I was proud to steal him from them. Sorry, guys, but he's been an outstanding addition to our team. Part of our SWAT team also, and he was prior as a medic on our SWAT team. So meshed really well with the guys. He wanted a little bit more exciting career than lift assists and fires that weren't fires.
Wow. Just
No
taking
offense to my brothers that
jabs.
drag the hose.
Wow.
I love you guys, but
That's an internal like thing.
That it's
though.
a joke.
That-
I mean,
oh,
we
know,
the
yeah.
firefighters and cops. I mean, we have each other's
It's
back
like
100%.
Navy and Army, or Marine Corps and Army,
Yeah.
or it's
Yeah.
like, hey, you do just as vital a job as we do. We
Yes.
know it, but you're an anchor clinker. You know, you know what I
Right?
mean? Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Some of my very good friends are firefighters, and a tremendous amount of
sure.
respect for them and the job that they do that I could not do. So, and then John Tuck. John Tuck.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, he is in his third phase now of the FTO program, of FTEP, and he came to it. He was previously a corrections deputy for us in the jail.
Yes, sir.
Also, and John forgot to mention, but he's coaches with the wrestling with the kids as well. But John Tuck has been heavily involved in the wrestling and the MAP club and stuff. So
Two-time state champion too.
yeah, go Beefs. He
Yeah,
was
and wrestled at
yeah,
Oregon
he
State.
was alumni there. But yeah, two amazing additions to our current patrol staff. We did just conduct rounds of internal interviews. We hired someone from. We're hiring some. We opened the position for an internal, so an existing county employee, corrections, or I guess just corrections is about it. We had another deputy. Weston Hillestad, who is our animal enforcement gentleman, who does an outstanding job at that. Anyways, we had 4 people apply. We're down to 2 final candidates. We're going to do some interviews next week and pick one of them for another patrol position. So then once they get hired on, they'll go to the academy, and then they'll come back. And
So
go through
did
the
Hillstat go somewhere else, or he's still here?
No, he's still here. No,
the
he's one of
animal.
the people that applied for the full-time patrol
Oh,
position.
gotcha.
So-
Okay, so he's the person that does animal control and traffic, or is that a different person? No, the traffic city,
Traffic,
like
traffic.
downtown, parking and all.
Oh
that.
yeah.
a
No, that's
different-
their city ordinance officer.
So
yeah,
the
that's different.
animal control deputy does animal control and serves like paperwork,
Civil documents.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And then he said that he has to sometimes too.
Yeah, all of the deputies at one point or another have to serve civil. It's just one of those. It's just one of those never-ending. The paperwork comes from the court on a daily basis. We have
Right.
time frame limits that we have to get them
So
served.
if you're in uniform, you might have to.
Yeah, there's times on the board that it says, we need civil serve, so everybody at least grab a packet on your shift and try and make it. And it works out well because sometimes, our civil deputy goes home during the daytime or, early evenings, and then sometimes the only way to find people is at night,
yeah.
when they're not at their daily jobs and
Right.
they're spending their time at home. But anyways, yeah, so we'll do that. So then we'll have another patrol position filled here soon. We have Deputy Sergeant Travis Shod, who retired from patrol, and he is doing our work crew detail now. So we do have a newer work crew vehicle that we got from another sheriff's office.
Oh, nice.
That we've upfitted, upgraded, and put some decals on and stuff. Is a lot better than our van had 250,000 miles on it, and
Wow.
you didn't know if it was going to make it or not. So we had a new vehicle. I believe that was we purchased that from Tillamook County at a great price. The sheriff's office worked very well together. Speaking of that, Deschutes County donated an armored vehicle to us.
Just donated it. So
Donated
there
it.
you go.
Yep, 100% donated it. We had to pay transportation costs to get it up here because it's not something that we could cruise down the freeway from
would've been
Bend to
kinda fun.
here.
I mean,
It would have drawn some attention.
Yeah.
But just not the most comfortable rig to be riding in for 5-6 hours. But
It can't possibly
yeah,
be.
yeah. So their county loaded it up on a lowboy and brought it up to us and charged us. I think it was like $1,500 for the day to bring it up and drop it off, and it's priceless. So that's literally what it's cost us is the $1,500 transportation fee, and we have it's got a brand new engine in it, it's got a brand new transmission in it. They put years and years of work into it, several tens of thousands of dollars of upgrades into it. We're going to actually have that out for the Ag Timber Parade. So if you guys are watching that, you can see that new vehicle with some of our SWAT guys at the Ag Timber Parade.
So that thing doesn't like the SWAT vehicle doesn't get used that often, right?
No. Training every month, and they don't use it every month for training, but usually right now we are because we're trying to familiarize ourselves with it, so everybody's comfortable with it. And then it gets called out on SWAT calls as an armored vehicle to transport the deputies of the SWAT team up to the situation or whatnot, or to
And as a blockade, I'm sure.
as a
like,
blockade.
it's covered.
Yeah, cover.
Is it bulletproof?
Yeah. 90%
I
of
know,
it.
I know nothing's really
Yeah,
bulletproof.
yeah, it is bulletproof. It does have a couple of
Bullet
turrets in the top.
resistant would probably be a better.
It's 4-wheel drive, and it has a brand new, I think, 25,000 pound winch on it that they had put on there. So it's very fitting for our area.
Yeah, I like that. And it was just donated.
And
by
it was
another
donated.
sheriff's office.
Yep, yeah. The sheriff's office donated that to us. With, I've said before, but relationships are key.
Yeah,
I met the
100%.
new sheriff down there, Ty Rupert, at our December sheriff's conference down in Bend, and previously some of our SWAT guys were at a training talking to some of the Bend guys, and they said, yeah, we got a vehicle that they got a new MRAP and they got another new vehicle, and this one just kind of sits there. So they're like, hey, we'll take that. And then that led into talking to me, and I made contact with the sheriff and their fleet guy, and just established a relationship, and this is what we need. And that bigger department's literally helping out the smaller department.
Yeah.
And making it, that vehicle will serve us for many, many years down the road.
If only the whole world worked like that, right? Like, wouldn't it be such an easier place? Like, what about that? On the last show, we talked about the possibility of there being that tax. Do you remember?
We were talking about a levy for the drug task force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are we at with that?
Yeah, well, as everybody is just as irritated with taxes as I am,
Right.
I'm not interested in introducing any new taxes or even asking people to pay more taxes right now.
Yeah.
So consequently, Union County does not have a drug task force. We have deputies that do a lot of preventative work and go out and try and find the stuff, and they've been doing a good job of that. We were just in talks with LeGrand and OSP. Chief Hayes is very supportive and wants to help out in the task force. So if there's a possibility that they get a detective trained up, they want to contribute. Of course, funding is a huge issue for them in the city right now. OSP is willing to help out with their detectives and have those, if we have a case or something we need to work. So if there is a significant drug case that we get, that we fall upon or, we find out about, we have the resources to go after that, if you will. But as far as preventative out there, doing the buys, doing the wires, that type of stuff is on hold until funding.
Yeah. So that's the important stuff too. I mean, not that the other stuff's not important, but getting to the source is probably the most important.
It is. It's really the only way to shut down that. I mean, you have to disrupt the program that they have going on. You have to get in there and you have to disrupt their daily trips, weekly trips from Portland to LeGrand that are bringing drugs to our community. If we have a drug task force, we can inhibit their ability to bring those drugs to Union County. Somebody's still going to bring them. Somebody's still going to bring them, but we're going to disrupt that for a while. We're going to get the word out there. People are going to be scared of the consequences, and it will slow that down significantly, which in turn reduces our addiction problem and then reduces our overdoses.
And then is there any updates on the possibility, and I know we've talked about this in the past, but the mental health issue, like some sort of mental health facility or a drug, like not on a different page, I guess, a drug rehab in town? Like, has there been any talks about that?
So the opioid abatement committee, one for the county, one for the city, the opioid funds that are coming in through the settlement, we were wanting to spend that money on something. What we did is, the county, I say we spent some money on a kind of a needs assessment, if you will, and see what we can do here, what grants are available, what best fits Union County, and then how do the Oregon laws apply to us staffing that, the hours that we have to stay open or closed, the people that we can take, the people that we can't take. So we're pretty well educated on what we need for Union County.
Yeah.
And CHD has kind of taken the reins on that, but it's kind of at a standstill just because of the money. They came back with a $15 million bill, and where do we get the money for that? So state grants, there's not a lot available, enough to fund the program or the facility. And so Commissioner Scarfo actually at our last meeting was going to visit the federal end of things to see if he can get some money through some contacts that he has at the Washington level. So, I mean, we're still optimistic, but honestly, until we get something here locally in Union County as far as a stabilization or as far as residential treatment or a detox center, we will be behind the ball and people will suffer. And until that happens here in Union County, because we proved that we can't rely on the Walla Walla or Baker. they're always full.
Full,
And when somebody is ready to go into treatment, they got to go right now. They've made
'cause
that choice.
They're hitting the rock
You
bottom.
give them an hour, you give them a day, they've changed their mind and they're right back in that cycle.
Or they're using, which changes their
Correct.
whole, you know what I mean? They'll go right back to whatever they were doing.
Yeah, so I'm optimistic. CHD's been a great partner through the community, to law enforcement. We have open conversations and communicate regularly with the commissioner's office, with my office, with the city, Grand Island Hospital, all the players that are involved. We are trying everything that we can to bring something to Union County.
Any highlights? Anything you want to let people know? Yeah, give me some highlights.
Man,
in the last few months.
highlights.
Yeah.
I don't really have any highlights.
No?
No, I mean, we're going into, like I said, we're going into budget season, or wrapping up budget season, if you will. We are shortly here soon going to start parades and rodeos, and I would
That's probably
always.
your favorite time of year.
I love the
Rodeos? Oh, yeah.
The rodeo time, yes.
Go over there and take your
good
pictures.
times.
And,
Yeah, I used to be able to go to those and partake in the festivities and have a great time.
Yeah,
Now I get to watch everybody else do it.
Probably good for you.
It is good for me. Yes, it's the responsible thing to do as your sheriff.
Speaking of rodeos, Loveland Safe Ride, they're trying to get to 2,000 monthly supporters. And what that means is $10 or more a month will help you, or will help them stay stable, essentially. You know what I mean? Because the whole goal is Kevin wants to not have to fund it himself, which I don't blame him one bit. And basically, they turned it into a 501(c)(3) and it's, or C3, and it's a nonprofit organization now, so they can take your donations, and they're tax deductible to the extent of the law, and they're looking to get 2,000 people signed up at $10 a month or more. And I mean, it's a great cause. It's saved countless lives.
Countless.
Over 20 years now of giving people rides home that are, I mean, I can't imagine how much money they've cost the county.
Right?
We don't even talk about that though. But at the same time, somebody's doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Over
It's a
200,000
great
safe
cause.
rides home.
Over
200,000 safe rides home. You know, if each person donated $1, you know, I mean, it's just, if you want to donate your money to something that really makes a difference and saves lives, truly saves lives, I can think of no better place than to spend 10, 50, $100 and donate to that. So Jerry's out there, he's fully employed, the program keeps going, and it's something that they can take out there. It's in Wallowa County now. You know, if we can get that to Baker County, if we can get that to Umatilla County, if we can get this free ride program across our area, I mean, the life-saving possibilities are endless.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great program. I mean, thank you to Kevin for coming up with the idea.
Yeah.
I mean, it was under, you know, some
Tragedy.
tragic circumstances.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it shows his commitment to keeping people off the roads if they've been drinking. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you for tuning in. Keeping it clear with Cody Bowen. We'll be back in a couple months. Thank you to Loveland Safe Ride. Once again, be one of 2,000. Have a good night, guys.